Brooklyn, 1846. In our sundown perambulations of late, through the outer parts of Brooklyn, we have observed several parties of youngsters playing base, a certain game of ball. Let us go forth a while and get better air in our lungs. Let us leave our close rooms. The game of ball is glorious.
It is played everywhere, in parks and playgrounds and prison yards, in back alleys and farmers' fields, by small boys and old men, raw amateurs and millionaire professionals. It is a leisurely game that demands blinding speed. The only game in which the defense has the ball. It follows the season, the fond expectancy of springtime and ending with the hard facts of autumn.
Because we've been playing it fundamentally the same way for so long, the way that we can find the benchmarks that cross generations and cross decades is to be able to use these statistics as if they were labels. They aren't numbers. 300 hitter is not a number. The 300 hitter is a tag that means something today, as it did in 1930, as it did in 1890. I can make that comparison with my father, who could have made it with his father, that common language.
It's our game, America's game.
We'd spit tobacco juice on a spike wound, rub dirt in it, and get out there and play.
Baseball's a gentleman's sport. Sportsmanship spoke from the heart of America.
It is a haunted game in which every player is measured against the ghosts of all who have gone before. Most of all, it is about time and timelessness, speed and grace, failure and loss, imperishable hope and coming home.
Somebody sat down and said, hey, it ought to be 90 feet. If it were 88 feet, the game would be very different. Think of the double plays. If it were 94 feet, batting averages would drop remarkably. 90 feet, that was a pick from heaven.
This is a reminder. Disorderly conduct will not be tolerated. Please respect your fellow fan and refrain from any unruly behavior. Failure to comply with these guidelines will result in ejection.
Baseball serves the same purpose as a revolution in Central America or a thunderstorm on a hot day. A tonic, an exercise. So long as it remains our national game, America will abide no monarchy, and anarchy will be too slow.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the Intercontinental Radio News.
Ladies and gentlemen, the flash in the sky was visible within a radius of several hundred miles, and the noise of the impact was heard as far north as Chicago, Illinois. We have dispatched a special mobile unit to the scene, and we'll have our commentator give you a word picture of the scene as soon as he can reach there.
Reports observing several explosions occurring at regular intervals and moving toward the Earth with enormous velocity, like a jet of blue flame shot from a gun.
Crosley Service estimated that 32 million people were listening in on radios.
Quietly, and we will control all that you see and hear. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to
the BCR, your home for the classic call, radio baseball.
Hi, folks. Join us now for another ball game. Yes, sir. Why, we'll send you the play-by-play. This is the one we've been waiting for. This is it. This makes you feel like it's spring and baseball, no more measles, and free tickets to the circus.
Although edited, tonight's thriller contains suspense and violence which may be unsuitable. Parental discretion is advised.
2, 4, 6, 8, who do we appreciate?
Braves country.
Baseball is a beautiful thing.
It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it, the fact that that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing, Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win.
And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone.
Ground ball stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch. And it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same three criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark, and it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
People will come.
There come caresses they can't even fathom. Not knowing for sure why they're doing it. They'll arrive at your door, as innocent as children, longing for the past.
Sit in shirt sleeves on a perfect afternoon. They have reserved seats somewhere along one of the baselines. Back when they were children, cheered their heroes. It'll be as if they'd dipped themselves in magic waters. The memories will be so thick that I've brushed them away from their faces. People will come. The one constant through all the years has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. Been erased like a blackboard. Rebuilt and erased again. Baseball to mark the time. This field, this game, it's a part of our past. It reminds us of all that once was good. That could be again. Oh, people will come. People will most definitely come.
We're all told at some point in time we can no longer play the children's game. We just don't know when that's going to be. Some of us are told at 18, some of us are told at 40. But we're all told.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary, and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season, and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
Braves coming. If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is.
I never heard of half of these guys. And the ones I do know are way past their prime.
Most of these guys never had a prime. This guy here is...
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the
time, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce today's teams as participants in this historic game.
Play ball!
Good seats, hey, buddy. He missed the tag. He missed the tag. He missed the tag.
Welcome in, everybody. Hope everybody is having a great day. The Mets and Nolan McLean are in the field first. Mets are wearing their traditional home whites with the pinstripes. Mets across the chest in blue, pinstripes blue. Mets outlined in orange, blue ball cap, the interlocking NY representing the city of New York on the cap. Tigers are wearing their their road gray pants, and it's more of a black than a dark blue with Tigers across the chest. Think October. And we are just about set, and yes, sir, it is baseball time in Major League Baseball, and the first pitch on the way is a strike right there at the knees. It's 0-1. 3D is starting to kick into play, so we'll bring it here to you, the 0-1 pitch. Down and in, 1-1. The 1-1 is sawed off foul into the seats. 1-2. A 1-2 count. We'll do the salutations here in a second. I'm always scurrying around in these early games during the week as the 1-2 outside wide 2-2. Just getting home and getting rushed in and getting my bearings under me. A 2-2 count. Swing, McGonigal lifts it down the left field line. Is that a fair ball? Just foul. Next to the tarps, it'll slap against. And we'll do it again, 2-2. Good to see everybody in the chat. Who do we have here today in the chat in this early going game? We got Richard Talley, Country Club member, Sin Good, Been Good, Chop Shop, Coco Rex. Good to see you, bud. We're actually thinking about you the other day. Hadn't seen you in a few broadcasts. The 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, and there's one away. Hope everything's good in your neck of the woods there, Coco. James Ray in here today. I'm sure others will be coming in. Kind of a late announcement that we were doing this game. They've been fighting weather all week, and we kept looking at the forecast. We almost pivoted to another game, but we wanted to bring you Mets Tigers in a pretty good pitching matchup as it's McLean versus Montero. First pitch from McLean. It's outside wide to Keith. It's 1-0. Pitch misses once again. Ball 2-0. 2-0 count. Turns and kicks, swing and a miss. 2-1. What you'll get from McLean is a 6-pitch mix. The 2-1 pitch, 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour, 3-1. He'll lean on the sinker and the 4-seamers, and why not? They're good ones, at a combined rate of 54% of the time. The 3-1 pitch, outside wide, ball 4. So he'll head on down to first. And if memory serves, we do have a Tigers chant. There it is.
Let's go, Tigers! Let's go! Let's go, Tigers! Let's go! Let's go, Tigers!
The sweeper comes in at 16% of the time, curve 12, changeup 9, and the cutter 8, so he is a kitchen sinker. First pitch is a four-seam fastball to Riley Green, batting .325 on the year. It's 1-0. 1-0 count, 1 on, 1 out. Mets defense is back into the right. The 1-0. Drops the sweeper in there, 1-1. McLean, one of the better young pitchers to come up in Major League Baseball in the last few years. He was on the WBC team. Didn't have a great outing in the WBC, but you'll see he's got really good stuff. 1-1 pitch. Misses high, 2-1. If you're a Mets fan, I'm sure you're not thrilled about the start to the season, but he's one of the reasons why you can be excited. Other reasons, they got two of them in the lineup today, as we'll do the defensive setup here in a second. The 2-1 pitch. Swing hammered into right field. That's down for a base hit. Playing very deep, so the Tigers will go corner to corner with 1 out here in the top of the first. Left to right across the outfield for the New York Metropolitans. In left field, it's MJ Melendez. The youngster, A.J. Ewing, one of the top young prospects in the Mets organization, is in center field. And his counterpart, Carson Benj, is in right. Those are the two guys we were talking about that there's high hopes for. Beatty's at third. Bo Bichette, signed in the offseason from the Toronto Blue Jays, is at short as the first pitch to Dingler's outside wide for a ball. Sweeper missing. It's 1-0. Marcus Semien is at second, and Vientos is at first. The 1-0 pitch, swing, fouls it away, 1-1. Sanger's getting the start behind the plate today, and of course McLean is on the bump. One count, runners on the corners, 1 out. The 1-1 swing, hammers it down the line, foul, 1-2. I like how James worded that. Who do we want to lose as opposed to who do we want to win? I'd say most Braves are pulling for the Tigers today. 1-2 count. I know you'll get some random, because I run into random fans all the time, is the 1-2, chops it down the line, foul, do it again. And in a matchup like this, they'll have some kooky reason why they're pulling for the team in your division. They may be a Braves fan, but for some reason they don't like Detroit or whatever. 1-2 count. Welcome in, Tom. The 1-2 swing, slices it towards very shallow right field. It'll be an F4 in your scorecard, 2 down. Tom always adds interesting little tidbits. He's saying this is just the 20th time these two teams have met since '97. 20th series or 20th ball game? That seems incredibly low, especially since they went to playing everybody every year. Pitch on the way, swing, lifts into left center field, going back on the track. That ball is carrying. Zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Ram-a-lam-a ding-dong, a 3-run shot. And Gage Workman makes it a 3-run game for the Tigers. Holy Toledo. So 3-0 your score. The first pitch to McKinstry is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 kicks and fires. Swing, lifts it high into center field. Drifting back. Making the running catch out there is A.J. Ewing for out number 3. So not before the Detroit Tigers put a 3 spot on the board. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country Radio.
Did you know that 40% of men have faced a mental health issue in the past year? That means 60% of you haven't been married yet.
Michael.
And after we had a few beers, we came up with the shower buddy.
The shower buddy? I'm sorry, that name's not official yet.
No, he's wrong. It is official.
I wanted the shower daddy.
Shower daddy is worse on pretty much every level, so.
Yeah. I have to agree, better than having some strange dude in the shower with you.
It's not some strange dude. As I've said many, many times, it's your buddy.
Well, why would your buddy be in the shower with you?
Why would your dad?
And guess what? If my man want a steak at 3 o'clock in the morning, guess what I'm going to do at 3 o'clock in the morning? Knock his ass the out. Get your ass up. Who the want to eat steak at 3 a.m. anyways? You sitting right here trying to have clogged arteries so you can pass away so I can raise these kids by myself? I don't think so. Y'all really do be acting like if a won't get up at 3 a.m. and fix a steak for her husband. Now it's different. If he's getting ready to go to work and you making him some lunch or something, never mind, because that's about to sound stupid as soon as I said it. Make that steak the night before and he can heat that up in his lunchbox.
So let me get this straight. China cannot own and operate an app in the United States. They can, however, own 384,000 acres of United States farmland. Got it.
The second half has been like a fountain of youth for me. I feel young. I feel great. It's fun to come to the ballpark again.
I remember the second half of that season. It was unbelievable. I mean, every night it was multiple hits. It wasn't a 1 for 4. I mean, it was multiple hits, a lot of games. But he just got locked in, and you could tell that he was on somewhat of a mission.
Boy, George really swinging a magic wand, didn't he?
Ended up having the second half of a lifetime and went from hitting 260 to hitting 329 and win a batting championship, which was incredible.
It's going to be one of the biggest thrills of my career. You know, in April and May, I struggled so bad, and to come back and finish the way I did is a tremendous thrill for me.
Anyway, apparently I have to get back to work. This is bull.
Welcome back. Three 3-0 your score. We're in the bottom of the first inning. Tigers and Mets. First pitch from Peter Montero. He's right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Kicks and fires, swing. Chopper over to second base. It's going to be, whoa, would have been a 4-3 put out. Terrible throw over there by Workman. And it's going to be an E4 in your scorecard, and the Mets have something going here in the early stages of the first inning. I mean, I don't know where he was throwing. I think Montero might have thrown him off a little bit. He was standing next to the first baseman, Torkelson, and he kind of split the uprights for you football fans. The first baseman, Torkelson, was standing on the bag. The pitcher was standing off to his side, and the ball went in between the two of them. First pitch to Bichette is off the plate inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Righty-righty matchup. 1-0. Upstairs. Hanging for a strike. On. Good to see you, Willis. What you talking about, Willis? As the 1-1 is right down there. Slider at the knees. It's 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Turns and kicks, swing, rips it, back foul. The 1-2 pitch. Just outside. 2-2. 2-2 count. Runner at first, nobody out. Tigers lead it 3-0. The pitch on the way, swing, slices that foul out of play. Mets gave Bichette a 3-year deal worth about $40 apiece, coming out of free agency from Toronto. Standing on deck is the $700 million man, Juan Soto. Banged up a little bit yesterday, but he appears to be okay, and they're going to keep him at DH for the time being. Listening to Mendoza talk about that earlier today. Carlos Mendoza, the manager of the Mets. The 2-2. Swing. Fights that one. So I rarely get to listen to other teams' pregame shows, etc., because we're always engulfed in the Braves. So I decided to put it on the Mets today as the 2-2. Caught looking, strike three, punched him out at the knees, one away. Bichette wants to challenge it. He will lose that challenge. 100% of that ball was down in the strike zone, and there's one away. So insult to injury. Now that the Braves are off the West Coast, we're going to be doing more of these double headers. They were just, every time I would look at the schedule to try to squeeze one in, it didn't work. They would either be on top of each other, or the times were so drastically different it was ridiculous. Four-seam fastball is at the knees to Juan Soto. It's 0-1. The 0-1 count. Kicks and fires. Swing. Pops it up. High into left field, but not nearly deep enough. Underneath it is Riley Green for out number 2. Left to right across the outfield for the Tigers, it's Riley Green, Wenceel Perez, and McKinstry. Around the horn, third to first, Keith, McGonigal, Workman, Torkelson, and Rogers. Montero on the bump. I don't believe so, James, but let me check that. Righty matchup right here to Vientos, and Vientos torches one towards the center field gap, but making the running catch out there in center is Wenceel Perez, and that'll end the inning. So the error does not prove costly. We'll be back in a flash. 3-0 Detroit.
What are you doing?
Hold that.
I'm not holding anything.
I'm just rearranging the flowers that you get me.
Most Americans don't realize the fight it took to secure our Bill of Rights. Virginia Governor Patrick Henry, a staunch anti-federalist, opposed the Constitution, fearing it gave the federal government too much power over the states and lacked protections for individual liberties. To win over skeptics, James Madison promised to propose a Bill of Rights if the Constitution was ratified. Madison won. Undeterred, Henry then gerrymandered Madison's district to block him from being elected to the first Congress and persuaded Madison's protege James Monroe to run against him. Again, Madison triumphed and kept his promise, drafting a list of 20 amendments. He pared this down to 17 the House approved. The Senate reduced the list further to 12, which were sent to the states for ratification. December 15th, 10 of those amendments became part of the Constitution when Virginia became the 11th state to ratify them in 1791, our Bill of Rights. Remarkably, one of the 2 amendments that didn't pass at the time, on congressional pay, was finally ratified almost 200 years later, becoming the 27th Amendment in 1992. Who knew?
He won the batting title in 3 decades. The 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. That isn't talked about that much, but I think that's one of the coolest things that he ever accomplished.
Even as his career neared its finish line, Brett was still a massive star, whose appeal transcended the baseline. But even as he enjoyed his continued popularity, life for maybe baseball's most eligible bachelor was about to change.
All I know is my brother Ken played 12 years in the big leagues. Never got married when he was playing in the big leagues. And I saw the lifestyle he had, and I kind of liked that. And I just decided that I was going to wait until I couldn't wait any longer, and that's when I met my wife.
Join the Country Club today. Help support Braves Country Radio. Join the Country Club today. Welcome back. Nolan McLean fires the first pitch to Spencer Torkelson, the number 7 hitter, down and away for a strike. It's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup. The 0-1. Sweeper grabs the outer edge. 0-2. James, there's 0% chance of rain tonight in Atlanta, so I'm not sure where that question came from, but I did double check it. I normally check going into the series if there's a threat on, day 1, 2, or 3 kind of thing. 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, and there's one away. So unless you're getting something that I'm not getting, I don't see why there would be a delay or any kind of a suspension. Unless there's something in the news that I'm not aware of. It's supposed to be pretty good conditions out there tonight at the ballpark. Changeup is right there at the knees. Called for a strike, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing, rips it. Hard hit, line drive right into the glove of Simeon. 2 down. Maybe you were listening to what I was talking about with the Mets game. We didn't know if this Mets game was going to get in because they've been fighting the rain in the forecast all week long. In fact, even when I got up this morning, we had already decided to do the game. We almost pulled the plug and called a different one because they were threatening rain in Queens today. As the first pitch to Rogers is swung on and popped up, can of corn over to Beatty. And it's an F5, and that's a very quick inning. So McLean got his bearings underneath him. We'll be back in a flash. Bottom of the second, 0-0 in New York. Or excuse me, 3-0 in New York. Detroit has the lead.
Okay. Are you kidding? That's unfair. She made those. I need to calm down. Everything's fine. I'm an adult.
There's a lot of people who believe that Nolan Ryan is overrated. I'm here to tell you he's not. I'll prove it. He reached double digits in wins in 20 of his 27 seasons. As he got older, he got stronger. In the 7 seasons after he turned 40, he had a 3.33 ERA. In 8 different seasons, he had double digits in complete games. His 61 career shutouts ranked 7th all time. For the people that say he didn't have a Cy Young, look back at his 1973 season. Although Palmer and Ryan had similar stats, Ryan also had 2 no-hitters that season and broke the record for the all-time strikeouts in a season. His strikeout record will never be broken, not only because of innings limits and pitch counts, but also because I don't see any pitcher pitching at a high level for 27 or more seasons. He holds the all-time record for lowest hits per 9. From 1973 to 1991, there were 300 games in which a pitcher went 9 or more innings and allowed 2 or fewer hits. Nolan Ryan accounted for 26 of them. Not only did he throw 7 no-hitters, he also had 12 one-hitters and 18 two-hitters. Randy Johnson wouldn't be able to break Nolan Ryan's strikeout record even if he played for another 4 years and averaged 200 strikeouts per season when he retired. At one point in his career, he threw a remarkable 235 pitches in a game that went 15 innings. He struck out twice as many as he walked. He averaged 103 walks per season, or 3.5 walks per game over his career. Over his career, hitters had a 204 batting average against him. Over that same time, the league average was 256. If you think Nolan Ryan is overrated, you just simply didn't follow his career.
I think timing is everything, and when we met, I think he was 37. I think he was ready to kind of settle down.
It was pretty apparent once Leslie came into George's life that he had found the one, but it was a change for George. At that stage, it was Leslie, and it wasn't George the bachelor.
When we decided to get married, we did it really, really quickly, and then I probably got pregnant within 4 or 5 months. If that's not going to change your life, I don't know what is.
My life has changed because my priorities have changed a little bit, but baseball still is very, very, very important in my life. My performance and the team's performance, still very important, but not as important as my family.
Welcome back. First pitch from Keter Montero.
Do you see what you...
Whoops. Inside for a ball. It's 1-0, the 1-0. Chops it in between. Oh, great play by Montero. He had to scoop it. I thought it was going to get to the second baseman, Workman, which is probably what the bunt was intended for because of the bad defensive play the Mets saw in the first inning. Melendez trying to beat out the bunt, but a great scoop by Montero. He grabbed it with his glove and in one motion underhanded it to the first baseman, Torkelson. So put it down as 1-3 in your scorecard. Man, that's a very underrated play there. 1-0. As the pitch misses away to Beatty. 1 down. Tigers lead it. 3-0. Bottom of the second inning. The 1-0 pitch, swing, fouls it away. 1. The 1-1 from Montero. Swing and a miss. Change up. 1-2. Standing on deck is Simeon. Beatty batting .217 on the year. Righty, lefty. Turns and kicks. Check swing. Slider in the dirt. Did not go around. Mets come into today's action 17-25. Tigers 19-24. The Mets are looking for a 3-game sweep here of the Tigers. Walked them off in extras last night. The 2-2 swing, fouls it away. So I don't think I ever completed that thought about the pregame show. So I go to the pregame show. First of all, Todd Zeal's on there. Haven't seen him in a while. And I don't think of him as a Met. I think of him as a Cardinal. But anyways, the 2-2. Swing, fouls it away. And that, well, what's the nicest way I can put this? Their pregame show's goofy. I mean, there was very little baseball talk, and they were doing things like skits like Price is Right and stuff like that. It's strange. The 2-2 count. Pounds it off the plate. Do it again. Strangely enough, one of the better pregame shows that I've come across since we started doing this is the Colorado Rockies have a pretty good pregame show. And maybe it's just because I'm a fan of the lady that's on there that was with Braves Country for several years, and they did her dirty. And she's been with Colorado for a few years now, the 2-2, outside wide, 3-2. I still can't believe that they let her go. And actually, one of the girls that replaced her down the road, she was pretty good. But I think she stepped away because she was focusing on her family. The payoff pitch, high and outside, ball 4. So he'll head on down to first, and the Mets get one aboard, and 1 out. Righty-righty matchup. Marcus Simeon, the batter. First pitch is a slider at the knees. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kelsey Wingert is the lady that was with the Atlanta Braves. The 0-1 down and in. 1-1. I'm trying to look up now to see when she was there. And I didn't know this about her at the time, but she went to LSU. So it makes sense that she had that down-home Southern type charm. The 1-1 swung on, fouled straight back, 1-2. One-two count. In the dirt, slider. That'll even up the count at 2-2. Man at first, 1 out. Infield is playing back into the left, but at double play territory. The second baseman very close to the bag to try to turn 2. Huge hole on the right side, by the way. So if he punches it that way, he'll have Pedro at the 2-2 swing. Hits it right into the teeth of the defense. That'll be a 5-4-3 inning-ending, rally-killing double play. We'll be back in a flash. The Cats will grab the sticks when we return. Tigers 3, Mets nothing, going to the top of the third.
Good afternoon, everybody.
What
Dave, I use a drink. Nothing like a cold one after a long day, huh?
So, how much do you drink?
I'd say I'm good for about 10 or 12.
10 or 12 a week? That's not bad.
About a week.
You drink 10 or 12 beers a day?
You counting beers too?
How reckless of me. I made you all wet.
Yes, but my martini's still dry.
She turned out to be a part-time model and a full-time pickpocket. Oh, yeah. I've been known to drink a beer or two. But then again, I've been known to do a lot of things. You drinking anymore?
Oh, me? No, I quit drinking,
You
dude.
never gonna drink again? You wanna stop at the bar by the Chinese restaurant? Just get a quick shot, me and you, and then we'll go? Yeah, the bar they got in the back.
The Chinese bar? Okay. What's shaking?
All 4 cheeks and a couple of chins.
I thought you said they didn't have alcohol.
Run back to your mix master. Cook up a few more of these.
Cigarette?
No, I never touch them.
Yeah. I suck them down like Coca-Cola. I expose people to magic. I expose them to something they're never otherwise going to see in their boring, normal lives. And I gave that to them. I may forget about them tomorrow, but they'll live with that memory for the rest of their lives. And that's a gift, man.
One of the women said that she was afraid she might OD.
I thought that was a lemon drop. I didn't think it was tequila.
What's that got to do with me? You and me are going to have a small talk later on.
I'll be busy thinking of things to say.
Doesn't your wife ever complain that you never spend any time with her?
Would you? Could you keep it down to a low roar? Some of us have to work.
Put that money down, pal.
Yeah, I'll be ready.
There goes the 2 weeks at camp. I promised the kids this summer.
My birthday, give me a beer, stick a candle in it, and I'll blow out my liver. Here's to feeling good all the time.
Perfect. Cheers.
Cheers.
This crowd back into it now.
Welcome back. Will's drinking some coffee. First pitch on the way from McGonigal is swung on and chopped foul down the line. It's 0-1. I'm going to guess that Chop Shop has some version of vodka in his drink at work. No, he says seltzer water. Okay. Coconut flavor out of the can. Man, what bet did you lose? The 1-1? Swing, hammers it down the line, foul, 1-2. No, that whole thing with Ozuna, James was right. He was trying to name drop himself to get out of the ticket. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt. That ball almost got him in the foot. Changeup misses, 2-2. That thing ricocheted to the backstop. So Kelsey Winger, she was with the Braves Fox Sports Southeast from 2016 to 2019. And when she left, it's the 2-2 pitch, swing, lifts it into left center field, drifting over, making the running catch, A.J. Ewing. Looks like he's got a pretty slick glove out there with his orange cleats. Looking sharp out there with the young rookie. One away. Yeah, James, he was under the influence. I don't know if he was drunk, because nowadays they've dropped that number so low that, so I think in most states now it's 0.08. And if you've ever had a few beers and taken a breathalyzer, you'd be surprised how little the tolerance is for a DUI. But he did fail the breath, or he failed whatever they gave him. I don't know if it was a breathalyzer or not. But he was impaired, was the point. The 0-1, this is I-1. He probably, if he was smart, he declined and waited for his lawyer to get him out of the jam. James says, hell, I'm drunk now. James, I might register from some of the nights back in the 90s. That's how wild those nights were. The 1-1 pitch, high and out of the zone, 2-1. 2-1 count. Turns and kicks. Pitch is way outside wide, 3-1. Yeah, I knew it was low, James. I couldn't remember what the number was, but I knew it was low. 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss, full count. I used to know that like the back of my hand back when I was a bartender and server, because they have some strict, they call it dram shop laws. And you can get in trouble as a server or a bartender. It's one of the reasons why I ended up drifting back to the kitchen, because I just didn't want any headaches from it. But you can get in trouble as the payoff pitch, caught looking strike 3, caught the sinker on the inner track, 2 down. Let's say you're a server or bartender at restaurant B, and someone walks in and they're of age, let's say they're 50, and they sit down, they order a beer, but they came from restaurant A and they had we'll say 6 in an hour, or an hour and a half, I guess would probably be more realistic. First pitch to Riley Green is swung on and slapped into right field. That's down for a base hit, and it's a 2-out single for the Tigers.
Let's go,
so
Tigers! Let's go!
If that happens,
Let's go, Tigers! Let's go! Let's go, Tigers!
And you served in that 7th beer, not realizing the guy was overserved at restaurant A, and he pulls out and hits somebody, they're going to come back to you. As the sinker, right there on the inner track, misses for a ball. It's 1-0 to Dylan Dingler. He's 0 for 1 on the day with the pop-up to second. And I know it's a very small percentage that happens to, but there have been lawsuits that have been won by folks with that. Is the 1-0 right there at the knees, 1-1. And I always thought that was unfair, because if you didn't watch the guy walk in, sit down, he wasn't stumbling, right? If you didn't watch him walk into the restaurant, you may not realize, especially if he hammered 5 or 6 and it hasn't kicked in yet. The 1-1 pitch, swing, lifts it into right field, and that'll be an F9 your scorecard, and that'll end the inning. The Tigers threaten, but McLean shuts him down. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd here in Queens. Where do you come from? Where do you hail from?
You're in Braves country.
It's always great to hear where everybody's listening here in Braves country. Welcome back. Three 0 your score. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Mets will be bringing Ewing, Sanger, and Baines to the plate, so 8, 9, and 1. But yeah, you can get hit with that, and even if they have it on video, like John's saying, you can be pre-drinking at the house. And it's up to the bartender or the server to recognize the signs that this person has been overserved before they ever walked through the door. And if you just don't pick up on it, if it's a professional drinker, you may not realize what's going on. So that was one of the reasons why I got out of that and became a chef. It wasn't the only reason, but it did have a factor in it, because when I first would take these classes, I would not laugh it off, but almost scoff it. That's not going to happen. And then I knew somebody who got nailed by that law, and I was like, that's it. That's the camel that broke the straw's back. 4-seam fastball is inside to Ewing. It's 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup. Mountain Dew and Red Bull cocktail. I bet you that's pretty good. The 1-0 pitch swing. That ball's hammered high and deep. Back on the track, and she is out of here. A solo shot. A.J. Ewing, his first career home run. I'm sure they'll try to get that ball back for him. 405 feet for A.J. Ewing. The Mets are on the board. It's 3-1. First pitch swinging by Sanger is popped up in the middle of the infield, and catcher and first base almost collide. The ball drops to the ground. I guess they're gonna call that a foul ball. That was very close to the line. And so we'll retreat back to the home plate. Doing a good job of running it out there is Sanger. The only thing I can figure out is Torkelson lost it in the sun at the very last minute. I've never noticed this, but with sunglasses on, Torkelson looks a lot like Pete Alonso. Righty, the 0-1 pitch down and away, 1-1. One count. See, I ended up going to culinary school and all that stuff in the mid-2000s because of all that dram shop law stuff. The 1-1 pitch, swing, chops it back to the mound. Underhanded scoop, it'll be a 1-3, and there's one away. Ironically, you can take this however you want to take it. When I won the gold medal for the state of Florida as a chef during our culinary competition, we had a national. They have national championships, but to get there, you have to win state. It's the first pitch from Carson Ben, just swung on, pops it up high into left field. F7 in your scorecard, and there's 2 down. Ironically, when I won my division, it was tableside service, and I had the advantage because I had served and bartended, and I was competing against Honest Engine. I don't think it was my cooking that won it. I feel like it was because I was comfortable talking to people at tables. So what you were doing is you were going to the table and you were preparing the food, but you also had to continue the conversation with them. As a sinker to Bichette, is sawed off foul. It's 0-1. Bo Bichette called out on strikes after an ABS challenge his first time up. And when I won that gold medal, it was the 0-1, just off the plate wide, 1-1. Talking to the judges who were your customers, I'm not going to lie, there's no way I would have passed the sobriety test. We got housed the night before. The 1-1 pitch, swing, lifted, high and deep, into left field, just in front of the warning track, making the catch for a loud out number 3, and that'll end the inning. But not before the Metropolitans put one on the board. It's 3-1. Tigers will grab the bats when we return.
Lou Gehrig once said, "The ball player who loses his head, who can't keep his cool, is worse than no ball player at all." The story of Tonap. Many scouts called him the next Babe Ruth because he was a two-way player with a 90-mile-per-hour fastball and the power to hit a ball north of 450 feet. He also had the size to match. He was a staggering 6'5", weighing in at 220 pounds, with a size 18 shoe, which is how he got the nickname Toe. Dropping out of middle school and never played a single high school baseball game. He played behind the local bar. His father would collect bottle caps out of the trash and pitch them to him, and he would hit them with the handle of a broomstick. He was discovered after a friend asked Tampa Bay Devil Ray scout to attend a Little League game. He was there mainly to watch and had no plans on scouting until he saw a 5'10", 140-pound 12-year-old hit 2 home runs and strike out 17 of the 21 batters he faced. Nash would work out for the Devil Rays developmental staff. He hammered 26 home runs after taking 25 pitches from each side of the plate. In 2000, the Devil Rays signed the 18-year-old Nash for just $30,000. After he returned home in the offseason, he would be charged with a crime that could land him 10 years in prison. Immediately, the Devil Rays dropped him. After he was given a suspended sentence and probation, he was signed by the Cincinnati Reds, where he would be given a second chance. Not long after joining the Reds, he got homesick and the Reds sent him home. Once again, Nash found himself in legal trouble after a bar fight landed him in prison for the rest of his decade-long sentence. Would he have been Shohei Ohtani before there was a Shohei Ohtani?
If it was the happiest time in George Brett's life to that point, soon after he got married, the joy would be shaded when his father's health began to drastically deteriorate. It had been the most complicated relationship in his life, and it would stay that way through their final conversation before Jack Brett passed away.
He asked me that night, how'd you do yesterday in your game? You got any hits? And I said, no, 0 for 4, but I hit a good 3 times. And he said, that happens. You know, I think I popped up, struck out twice, hitting double play or something. But I didn't even tell him he's on his deathbed, and I lied to him.
For his entire career, George Brett's desire to prove himself to his father had been fundamentally connected to his drive for greatness. But even after his dad passed away, there were more mountains ahead.
Welcome back. First pitch on the way is a strike right there to Workman. It's 0-1. Righty-lefty matchup. Workman swing, rips it into right field. That's down for a base hit, and he's going to get on his horse and scoot. Heading to first, going to second, and he'll put on the brakes. And it's a leadoff double for Gage Workman and the Detroit Tigers.
Let's go, Tigers! Let's go! Let's go, Tigers! Let's go! Let's go, Tigers! Let's go!
Those breweries you're talking about, Chop, from about 2015 to about 2019, I worked at one that was one of the more popular ones at the time. The first pitch on the way is swung on and lifted into left field. That ball's going to get down for a base hit. Melendez going to fire to third. I think he's got him. He does have him. Workman runs himself into a jam and gets thrown out. It's going to be a 7-5 putout. You don't see those very often. The Tigers want to challenge it, though, so we'll see what happens here. It's extremely close on the play. Looking at the replay, and let's see here. From the blind eye, it looks like he's safe. The helmet flopping off as he was diving into the bag may have thrown off the third base umpire. Junior Valentine is your third base umpire today. I think I failed to mention this earlier. Jordan Baker behind the plate, first base Rob Drake, and second base Stu Sherwater. So it's Valentine's call there that was originally out. It's got to be enough to overturn, but it looks like that he got his hand in before the tag was applied. His helmet was bouncing around, and that probably distracted Sherwater. But yeah, we were at that, I want to say from 2015 to around 2019, I was at that one establishment that was, it was known for its food. It had pretty good food. But people came from miles around because of their tap room, because they had so many different beers on tap. And they always changed. I wasn't a big IPA type guy, and that's normally what they were bringing in. I've always liked my domestics, and I'm fine with any kind of people turning up their nose to it, whatever. I'm just a good old boy that likes cold beer. But it was popular, and I understood it. And there was times that I would taste one. We're still waiting on the review, and I'd be like, man, that's pretty good, but I wouldn't want more than one of them. And usually the people that drink those they drink them like wine. They sip them. Well, those heavy stouts and whatnot, that's a dangerous game for a chugger. You start drinking those heavy beers in the Florida sun in July, it only takes about 2 or 3 for you to go into a dark place. I don't know what the holdup is here. I mean, I think it's very obvious that he touched the base before the tag. And they have every single view and more in that replay booth. And they're going to say he's out? That is a terrible call. A.J. Hinch is rightfully ticked off. I think he's going to come out. I mean, there's not he can do. and he's going to get launched. A.J. Hinch gets launched, and he's actually pointing. I don't know if he's making contact or not, but he's pointing right into the chest of the home plate umpire. A.J. Hinch is giving him the what for. Home plate umpire, Jordan Baker. By the way, he's a big old boy. Well, he's tall. I don't know if he kind of has spindly arms. A.J. can probably take him. Give it to him, A.J. Give it to him. So he's gone, and that might just be to fire his team up. Remember, the Tigers come into this game 19-24, and they're in danger of getting swept, but that was a terrible call. I mean, you can see the hand on the bag, and there's still separation between the glove and his right arm. It's just a god-awful call. Anyways, back to the action. First pitch to Torkelson, he'll rightfully ground it over to third, and that's going to be a 5-4-3. So a very disappointing ending of that inning. Should have been first and third, nobody out. Instead, double play gets him out of the jam. We'll be back in a flash. Mets and Tigers 3-1 Detroit.
In 1980, we were playing Philadelphia, and whoever won that game goes to the World Series. I go down to take batting practice, and Pete's on one knee, and he's leaning on his bat watching. And when I got through hitting, I walked out, and Pete goes, "Hey, Nolan, I wish you'd get that curveball of yours over just one time. Do you remember this?"
No. I didn't say Mr. Ryan?
No, you said Nolan. He said, "I wish you'd get that curveball over just one time." I go, "Yeah, why is that, Pete?" And he says, "Because I'm going to hit it right off your blanking forehead." And I go, "Oh, all right, we'll see about that." So, we get into the game, and first two times up, I don't throw him any curveballs. Third time up, throw him fastball in, throw him fastball away. It counts 1-1. I think, now's my chance. Well, I throw my curveball, and when it leaves my hand, I know it's a good pitch. It was a pitch I wanted to throw. But I see Pete's eyes light up, and he hits the most vicious line drive that would have hit me in the face if I hadn't got my glove up. And he's running to first base, pointing at me. And he comes across the mound, and he says a couple ugly things to me.
Right back to Ryan. Pete says, "All right." The countdown for George Brett to the 3,000 mark.
And just as much desire to climb them.
I'm 4 hits away. We have a 4-game series in Anaheim. I go to the ballpark that day, and I'm trying to swing, and I can't. Tuesday, get there, taking dry swings. Not good enough. Get there Wednesday, taking some swings, hitting off a tee. I'm going, okay, if I can swing 80%, boom, yeah, feels good. Okay, Hal McRae, I can play.
It was insane. He was hurt. He was so hurt that he couldn't even put on his shoes that day. We didn't even know if he was going to start the game. And one of his brothers stayed in Palm Springs because George said, "I'm not going to play. And if I play, I'm going to do terrible."
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Juan Soto coming to the plate to lead off for the Mets. First pitch is a slider there on the outer edge. It's 0-1. We go 1. Kicks and fires. Four-seam fastball. 94 miles an hour. Misses high, 1-1. A 1-1 count. They set up outside. Tigers lead it 3-1. I'm trying to even up the screen here. We realize our screen jumped ahead again. Fouled away down the left field line, 1-2. One-two. Just missed, I guess. 2-2. Really feel like Sanger should have challenged that pitch, but he did not. The 2-2 for Montero. Swing, lifts it high into left field. Underneath it is green, and it'll be an F7 to start the inning. No way. There was actually, so y'all talking about the IPAs and everything and all the different. I just looked it up. So the brewery they're saying makes it right now is not the one that made it back in, I don't know, 2015, 2016. So maybe the name expired and they grabbed the name and ran with it. But there was a really good brew as the knuckle curve upstairs misses. And he's pinching this zone. It's 1-0. And it was called You're My Boy Blue. And it had like a blueberry flavor to it. As the 1-0 pitch, swing, hammers it on the ground over to first. Torkelson's got it. Tork will step on the bag, and there's 2 down. And it was one of the few that I really liked. It's another reason why the whole Austin Riley thing, why his nickname when we played the clip is You're My Boy Blues, because when he would get a base hit, you realize he was new to the Braves at that time. He would get a base hit. We would be up there drinking those beers and chanting it in the bar. I say we, it was like 3 or 4 of us, so there wasn't a lot of Braves fans in there. First pitch is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch to MJ Melendez. Turns and kicks. Inside, 2-0. But it was actually a really good beer, and they're saying it's made by Florida Avenue Brewing Company. Unless that broke off, and I don't think they did. I think they just stole the name because it doesn't look anything like what we were getting. As the 2-0 swing chops it down the line, foul, 2-1. I feel like it was either made by Cigar City in Tampa, possibly Funky Buddha. I know those were 2 of our bigger ones at the time. I'm sure a lot of these have just died out, the different beer companies. 2-1 in the dirt, 3-1, because they were huge. I mean, they were pumping beers out. And like I said, we were getting new beers every single week. They had like a basic, I don't know, 10 to 12 they always carried. Is the 3-1's inside, ball 4, so he'll head on down to first. And the Mets have 1 on with 2 outs here. But when the pandemic hit, it just crushed them all. People quit going out as much, and that was the main reason why they were so popular. People were going out to these events that were being held. And even though Florida wasn't shut down nearly as long as everybody else, it got everybody out of the habit of wanting to be in the same room. And to try to kickstart that again really was difficult. First pitch to Beatty is down and away for a ball, 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup. The 1-0. Top of the zone. Called for a strike, but it was not. And this guy's out here spotting dimes and eating onions today behind the plate. We've seen Jordan Baker several times. That's pretty much his MO. 1-1. Turns and kicks. 4-seamer misses. 1-2. I do remember a brew bus chop shop. I don't know what you're asking, but what I'm saying is that there was the 1-2 pitch swing, lifts it high and deep into left center field, going back on the track, making the jump at the wall, and it's gone. A 2-run shot, and I believe it's a home run. Yeah, there we go. It is a home run. Bit of a delay there. Brett Beatty with the 2-run home run. Just got over the wall. It took him a second to realize the ball actually got over the glove of Wenceel Perez. When you go right over the wall here at Citi Field, just past the cushion of the wall, there's a railing where the fans sit. and it hit the back of that railing and just got past his glove. They are double checking it, but it will stand. They're saying 377. No way in the world that ball carried 377. One by Workman was 379, and it cleared the wall by plenty. First pitch swinging here by Simeon. That ball's going to get down for a base hit. And it's a 2-out single for the Metropolitans. 3-3 your score. But what I'm saying, Chop Shop, is that I looked up the name of the brewery. Unless the name changed of the brewery, or they broke off, I think it's a coincidence in the name, because I'm looking at the can, because we also carried them in cans, and it looked nothing like that. So I think some of these breweries would run a beer, and they would do it for 6 months, a year, and then they would just discontinue it, never run it again. And so they wouldn't recycle the name. They wouldn't hold on to the naming rights. So if someone else ran with it, that's probably what happened. But we had things, it's called a tap takeover in the restaurant. And on, I believe it was Thursday nights, we would bring live music in. As the first pitch from Montero to Ewing is off the plate wide. 1-0. Montero, by the way, 56 pitches in. And that tap takeover, they would come in and they would sit just outside the restaurant. Is the 1-0 outside wide? 2-0. They had a back porch out there, and what they would do is they would set up, we'd have music out there, and they would have a couple of new kegs of beers that they were trying to push, and they would be there all night. Flip over to first, and then runners back in time. A 2-0 count, 1 on, 2 outs. Good to see you, Big Truck. The 2-0 swing, lifts it high into left field. That ball's going to get... No! A great diving catch by McGonigal. Wow! A diving catch into left field, very reminiscent of the one that the Braves got the other day from the young rookie. That one wasn't quite as spectacular, but it'll be on the highlight reel. We'll be back in a flash. We go to the 5th here in Queens.
At the tone, leave your name and message. I'll get back to you.
Just a drink. A martini, shaken, not stirred.
Hell are you doing? Told you we weren't getting involved.
You got us involved when you brought us here.
Where are you from? What's your real name? What was it before you changed it?
Giuseppe.
That's all you need, one thieving wop on the team.
It's much better than you stinking Irish.
Oh, I like him.
Just a drink. He can play. He can't throw. He can't throw and he can't field. Why do you like him?
He gets on base.
You want answers? I want the truth!
He gets on base, so do I care if it's a walk or a hit?
You do not.
I do not. Just a drink.
What draws my admiration? What is that which gives me joy?
Just a drink.
Baseball. A man stands alone at a plate. This is the time for individual achievement. But in the field, part of a team. Part of one big team. Sunny day, stands are full of fans. What does he have to say?
Just a drink.
I get nowhere unless the team wins. The day may come when the courage of men fails. But it is not this day.
Just a drink.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother. Spaghetti's rolling. I think he'll ever get out of here.
One day, when I got a long white beard and 2 or 3 marbles rolling around upstairs.
Get busy living, get busy dying.
Just a drink.
Do you really want to get him? What are you prepared to do? If you open the ball on these people, you must be prepared to go all the way. Here's how you get him. He pulls a knife, you pull a gun. He sends one of yours to the hospital, you send one of his to the morgue. That's the Chicago way.
Just a drink.
The Lord hates a coward. Do you know what a blood oath is?
Yes.
Good, because you just took one.
Just a drink.
Go ahead. Make my day.
You can't handle the truth.
Did it ever occur to you I just might go tapioca and throw you out of one of the windows?
Just a drink.
Perfect.
Shaken, not stirred. Cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome back. As McLean goes back to work, swinging and missed by Perez. McLean at 50 pitches. Now the game is tied 3-3 if you stepped away. The 0-2. Down and in, 1-2. Curveball misses. In Pittsburgh, the Pirates lead Colorado 6-2. The youngster Dollander was on the bump today for Colorado. Man, he must have got smacked around. The 1-2 pitch swing, drops it down into right field, and it's a leadoff single for the Detroit Tigers.
Let's go, Tigers! Let's go! Let's go, Tigers! Let's go!
Cincinnati, by the way, is doing the Lord's work. They're 9-0 up on the Washington Nationals. The game is in the 6th. I didn't see that pitching matchup today, but whatever it was a mismatch. Rogers takes the first pitch upstairs for a ball 1. Oh, no, wait a minute. It was a Forrest Griffith versus Burns? I think it might have been Burns today. He's been pitching pretty well recently. The 1-0. Outside wide 2-0. Because that was one of the games we were looking at had the Mets got a rain delay. We were going to pivot to that. And I remember thinking, I'm glad that didn't happen. But I thought that was a pretty good pitching matchup. Forrest Griffith, he pitched a really good game against the Braves. And I've been watching him the last few weeks just to see how he's done. He's got a really good ERA. I want to say it was just barely above 2. This is the 1-1 misses high 2-1. Whatever happened in that game, that will drastically change his ERA. Take a look at that, see what he did today. 2-1 as he flip it over to first. Runner stays close by. Maybe he lucked out and he got one of those. Most of them are. Nope, they were all earned. 9 earned runs and 4 1/3. They want to challenge this. The Mets do. They think they got the runner leaning, so we'll wait for that review to come in. He went 4 1/3, 9 earned runs, and his ERA skyrocketed to 3.53. He was leaning a bit. I don't know, from the blind eye over here, but the camera's way back behind the plate when they're showing it. It looks like they may have gotten him. I've yet to see a view that's right there. If they don't have a very good view, it's going to be hard to overturn it. But anyways, that Forrest Griffith right after the Braves faced him, it was the only game that we lost in that series. I watched their post-game show because I was curious about this Forrest guy because he was, I want to say he's 30 years old. He's one of those guys that's been banging around in the minor leagues his whole career. And he gave a really good interview. And so because of that, I started following him a little bit just to see how he's done. But wheels came off today. And, you know, it's funny we were talking about those breweries, but now the ones that I see that are quote-unquote popular, and he is going to be out. So they'll win that challenge and keep their challenge. So many of these ones that are popular now, I don't even recognize the names. There's been a big turnover here in the Florida. For a while, Florida was one of the fastest growing breweries by state in the country. As the pitch to Rogers is fouled back off his right there on the bat handle. It's 2-2. And there were ones popping up all around Jacksonville as well. I haven't really seen. There's still a couple of them still around. As the 2-2 misses high, ball 3-2. I think it's still one of the bigger states for breweries, but it just doesn't seem like it's as in vogue as it was before the pandemic. 3-2, bangs it down the line, foul. And I always felt like the reason why we had such a popularity with it is, A, they had 50 beers on tap. And if you were a big-time IPA or any kind of a local brewery guy, as the 3-2's fouled away. They carried all kinds of beers, but they really leaned on the IPAs because they were so popular at the time. But they had probably the biggest selection in the entire city. And then you would have the live events and these beer connoisseurs as the 3-2 pitch swing bangs it down the line, foul. So once again, it'll be a 3-2 count. This will be pitch number 9 of the at-bat. But as we used to always lovingly calling them beer dorks, the beer dorks just love to talk about beer and go out there and listen to music. The 3-2 fouls it away. We'll do it again. And I could envision me doing the same thing if there was something drawing in a bunch of baseball fans somewhere. I'd be out there, but figure that out, and we can probably all be millionaires. The payoff pitch, inside, ball 4, and he'll head on down to first. So a one-out walk, and had the runner not gotten picked off, McLean would be in trouble here, but he's only at 62 pitches, 1 on, 1 out. And that'll bring the top of the order back to the plate. This will be the 3rd time through. Kevin McGonigal, really good young hitter for the Tigers. First pitch, four-seam fastball, high and inside. It's 1-0. 1-0. To me, Coco, the 1-0 upstairs, inside 2-0. That is my preferred hatred. I guess is the best way. And the reason being, it's got nothing to do with the team itself. It's got to do with the fan base. The 2-0 count, swing, pops it up. High into left field, Melendez is underneath it, and he'll make the catch, 1 away. And all fan bases can have obnoxious jackasses. We all know that. But they take it to another level, and the hatred wasn't really there for me until we started doing this channel in 21. And that if you remember the Braves getting bounced by the Phillies in 22 and 23, they were obnoxious in this chat. First pitch swinging, fouls it away. It's 0-1. And I don't see it the way I used to see it, mainly because they don't come in anymore. But the other reason being is the chat moves so fast it's hard for me to keep up with it during a Braves game. But, I mean, they would come in and they would just be ridiculously obnoxious. The 0-1 swing, chops it off the plate. It's 0-2. Runner at first, 2 outs. And I could never understand it because I would go back and look at the history of the Phillies, and I'm like, you've been terrible your whole existence. You've won the one World Series in my viewing lifetime way back in 08. You've only won 2 World Series, period, and 8 pennants, and you've been playing baseball. You have 8 pennants. You've been playing baseball almost as long as the Braves organization. They started in 1883. The Braves started in 1871. And the Braves have 3 times the pennants. And 14 more world titles. The 0-2 caught, looking, strike 3 at the bottom of the zone. That was a ball, but they're not going to challenge it. We'll be back in a flash. Bottom of the 5th we go. Tied up here in Queens.
You're living in the past, man. You hung up on some clown from the 60s, man.
Hey.
Hey.
What's your name?
Joe. John.
What is it?
Joe John.
Name's Joe John?
Johnston, Joe.
You want to tell me what happened here?
There's a fire. I don't know. I came by and was checking out the fire.
Well, that lady, she said that you two were in the building when the fire started.
Yeah, she's a liar, because I don't know her. So whatever she says is a lie, so...
Okay, so you're saying you weren't in the building with that woman?
No, not I. All right, she started it, all right? Because she was like, I hate my job, I'm gonna burn this mother down. And I said, you better not. You better not.
She said it was an electrical fire.
It was a total electrical fire.
At first base, young Don Mattingly.
When you have a new kid, you try to tell him everything that you need to tell him to be aware of. And one thing that I forgot to tell him was, I know you're a good fielder, but so am I. Guy bunts, and I ran over down to the first base line, getting ready to field it. When I hear this, I got it. So I got to jump it out of the way.
What a play by Mattingly. I thought Goodry was the only one who had a chance, Bill, on that.
And I went over to him and I told him, I said, the next time you call me off a bunt, I'm going to say your butt's going to be back on that plane as fast as you got here. So the very next inning, the leadoff guy gets on, and I know he's going to bunt. So when I stepped on the mound, I heard this little whistle. When I turned around, he was by first base, and he was, where you want me? I said, you stay right there. I gained so much respect for him because he was playing behind me. He wasn't playing by himself. And that showed me a lot about his character.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. Sanger coming to the plate. The backstop for the Mets, Hayden Sanger, 29-year-old. We saw him last year as the first pitch is at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Made his major league debut last year for the Mets, played in 33 games, 72 at-bats, had a 181 batting average. The 0-1 pitch swing, punches it foul, it's 0-2. He's just in there to semi-platoon with Torrens. The 0-2 down and in, 1-2. 1-2 count. 3-3 your score. Detroit and the Mets. And we're in the bottom of the fifth. The 1-2. Swing, rolls it. On the ground over to short. McGonical's got it. Scoops, flips. 6-3, one down. Francisco Alvarez is expected to miss 8 weeks, as if the Mets season hasn't been tough enough. Right meniscus surgery. He's supposed to undergo it today, actually. First pitch is a changeup. Carson Benj, the leadoff hitter for the Mets, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Four-seamer. It's 0-2 right there. 0-2 count for Montero. He's got one strikeout so far, but he's not a strikeout pitcher. I think his over-under today was 3.5. The 0-2 down and in, 1-2. McClain has 4. He is known as a strikeout pitcher. He's got 61 strikeouts in 50 innings this year. 1-2's fouled away. Carson Benj, 6'1", 184 pounder out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. He's a cowboy, Okies. The 1-2, swing, rolls it on the ground through. That's going to get through for a base hit, and it's a one-out single for the Mets. Evidently, Carson has a brother that was in baseball, Garrett Benj. He was in the minor leagues until it might have been the pandemic that put at the end of his career, because they have him from 2017 to 2019 and then nothing. Remember all the cuts that happened at that time. Runner goes, and the throw down to second base looked like they got him. They did. Thrown out at second base. Benj wants the dugout to challenge it, but I don't think he's going to win this one. The throw definitely beat him. Looked like he applied the tag. He also came off the bag. I don't know why they've not taught these infielders, hold the tag. Instead, they just like to tag him and then show it. Oh, actually, it looks like he beat it. And because the second baseman, Workman, who was not impressed today defensively, did not hold the tag when he came off the bag, it was a moot point. So if this does get overturned, it's a bad job by Workman. He's been brutal out there today. He was the one that threw the random ball in between two defenders. This is much like the one that was overturned, or that was held up when the Tigers are trying to go to third base with nobody out. The blind eye tells you that he's safe. Here comes the challenge call. And it looks like it will be overturned, so make that make sense. Bo Bichette, the batter. 0-1 count. Sinker on the outer edge. It's 0-2. The 0-2. Kicks and fires. Caught looking, strike three, 2 down. James, what are you talking about, 3 games? I mean, we have a doubleheader today and we have a game tomorrow. We had a game last night. I don't know if you're rolling that all into one. And that's going to be it for Montero. They'll bring Holton in. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country Radio. 3-3 your score, bottom of the 5th here in New York City. New York City!
If you had to rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10 and you can't use 7, face only, no hair extensions, your natural hair, your natural face, what would you give yourself?
Interesting. 8.
Nope.
No?
No. How tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
How much do you weigh?
That's none of your business. I told you I was fat.
Oh, okay. We don't play that on my channel. You get your big fat on somewhere then. I don't deal with you big sassy ass broads.
Yes, I will be your ballsy guard. From now on, I'm Kevin Costner. Your balls are Whitney Houston.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Whitney Houston?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Whitney's dead?
Yeah.
Oh! How's Michael Jackson taking it?
Y'all, I think one of my most toxic traits is saving a bunch of videos of food recipes on Instagram that I am never gonna make.
Coco, when mommy says stop, you say okay.
I'm just a baby.
But you still had to say okay, mom.
I'm just a baby.
For the second time in 4 years, the Cardinals were going to the World Series. And this time, they'd face off against Whitey Herzog's old club, the Kansas City Royals.
They were a good club. They had speed. They didn't have a lot of power, a lot like us.
Fast forward to Game 6. The Cardinals have a 3-2 series lead and are up 1-0 in the 9th inning, 3 outs away from a championship. But then, Cardinal fans would be introduced to a name that would echo in their minds forever.
Don Denkinger. Yeah.
Little squibber to the right side. Worrell races over to cover. The throw doesn't get him.
Todd Worrell makes a great athletic play in catching the ball and staying on the bag, and he's called safe.
Looks like he's out. Oh, yes. Oh, I don't think there's any doubt about it.
What's up, Braves country? Looking forward to a great Atlanta Braves season. See y'all at the ballpark. Okay.
First pitch from Holton to Soto is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Turns and kicks. Swing, chopper. Foul, it's 0-2. 0-2 count. Lefty-lefty matchup. Pitch on the way. Swing, rips it up the middle, and that's going to be for a base hit. Runner's going to come around to score, and it's a 4-3 ball game. Terrible throw up the middle of the diamond as the catcher, Rogers, had to chase it in between home and third. And the Mets lead it 4-3. That'll bring Vientos to the plate. We'll go ahead and pull the screen back so you can see more action on the base paths. Vientos grounded out to the pitcher the first time up. Swing! That ball's belted high and deep into left field, and she is gone. A solo shot, a two-run shot, excuse me. It's going to double the score. It's 6-3 New York. And just like that, the Mets are in control of this game. 109 miles an hour off the bat of Vientos. .392 feet over the left field wall. The Mets are on top of the Tigers 6-3. Tyrone Taylor now the batter for MJ Melendez. First pitch is a cutter down and in. It's 1-0. He'll stay on for defensive purposes as they wanted to get the bat out of Melendez's hand with the lefty on the mound. The 1-0 outside wide 2-0. Taylor, very good defensive outfielder. He'll probably move to center, but we'll see what they do with Ewing. The 2-0. Swing, pops it up. High in the sky. Can of corn, right side, after your scorecard, and that'll end the inning. But not before the Mets put 3 on the board. It's 6-3 New York. Tigers will have the heart of the order due up when we return.
People are putting glitter in their pickles now. It's a trend. They're called glickles. For the love of God, will somebody turn me the off? I don't want to take in any more data. My brain is closed. Sorry, I'm being rude now. They're lovely. They look lovely. They're lovely. Will you stop playing with your food and eat it?
Hey, man. Y'all know I love these, right? Ruin Thanksgiving in 4 words. Hey, Pop. Mama cheating. Who made the potato salad? There's pork in everything. My mom want to go home. I dropped the turkey. Y'all always judging me. Hey, the toilet don't flush. Who them people is? That food look nasty. The yams ain't yamming. Hey, why Auntie Turkey white? It's no to-go plates. All the plates smell of booty. Somebody's car got towed. Dog just licked the turkey. I keep them going. How would you ruin Thanksgiving?
Are there any drugs in this house?
If there
Put that down for a second.
If there are, you better find them and give them to me immediately. No, they're not.
No drugs in the house right now?
Not that I know about. If I know about them, I'll find them and throw them away. It's not a big deal. Ooh, drugs in the house. We're all gonna die.
And let me see, what else could we pile on? Is there any more we could pile on?
So his brother JB stayed in the desert, and then he started watching the game, and he got 1 hit. Then he got another hit, and then I think he jumped in his car and started to drive towards Anaheim.
George tonight with a double, a single, and another single. He has 2,999 hits.
Getting something of that magnitude, that important, you're not going to get it your first at bat because you're gonna feel a pressure and you're going to be too tense and your swing won't be as fluid.
I think a lot of us were like, just make an out so that you can go back to Kansas City and get it in Kansas City, but no.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Righty-lefty matchup. McLean goes back to work to Riley Green. The first pitch down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. I was reading up on this day in history earlier, and the 1-0 right there at the knees. 1-1. The Washington Senators. Man, you think you've had it bad as a fan. Listen to this. In 1904, the Senators, the 2-0. Top of the zone, 2-1. McLean at 71 pitches. They would lose to New York at Hilltop Park. It's probably the Highlanders at that point. I'm assuming that's the New York they're referring to. It's going to be an ABS challenge by the Tigers. They will lose that one. So a 2-1 count. Inside. 3-1. Pretty sure that was the name of the park the Highlanders played at, Hilltop Park. But the Senators would lose and go to 0-13 as the 3-1 off the plate wide. Ball 4, and he'll head on down to first. And it's a leadoff walk by the Tigers. They would start off Major League record 0-13, and before they would win their first game, they would be 11 games out of first. So it's bad enough to start off 0-13, but you're 11 games out of first place. It's kind of how the Mets feel here in 2026, but it's not quite that drastic. 7-2, Pittsburgh leads Colorado in the 7th. Other games going on on your out-of-town scoreboard. They're in Cincinnati, Ohio, birthplace of professional baseball. It's 11-0 Redlegs over the Nationals. They're in the 7th. First pitch to Dingler off the powwow on the mound is popped up over towards the right side of the infield, making a running catch. Off the shift is Simeon. F4, 1 away. They're in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and the Brewers lead the Padres 6-0. Minneapolis, Minnesota, the Twins lead the Marlins 5-0, so that's good news for Braves country. The Mariners 3-0 advantage over the Astros in Houston, Texas. All the other games are later tonight, including the second part of our doubleheader, Braves and Cubs at 7:15. We'll come on the air at 6:45. The pitch on the way is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. We actually might come on a few minutes early. We've got a pretty lengthy clip that we want y'all to hear from Walt Weiss. They did a really long interview with them last night as the 1-0 swing and a miss. It's 1-1. So we're going to play the duration of it, or at least it was released. Probably closer around 6:40-ish. The 1-1 right there at the knees. 1-2. 1-2 count. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 down. Once I figure out the timings of it, we'll update the time on the actual YouTube page after this game. Got to figure out how long everything takes to play, and then we'll, like I said, We originally had it at 6:45. That's when we do most of the games now, half hour before first pitch. But when we have a lengthy interview, we like to start it a little earlier. First pitch to McKinstry is popped up down the left field line, bending out of play. It's 0-1. Righty-lefty matchup. Tigers trail 6-3. We're in the 6th inning. The 0-1. This is high 1-1. Now, the actual birthplace of baseball is New York. For professional baseball, the Cincinnati Redlegs were the first professional baseball team until the bandwagon fell off when they lost their first game and they disbanded. The 1-1 swing chops it down the line. Foul, it's 1-2. And that's why the oldest continuous baseball professional franchise, oldest continuous professional franchise in all of North American sport is your Atlanta Braves, when the Boston Red Stockings began in 1871. But New York City was the birthplace of baseball. There was just a hard line made by a lot of the guys that played in New York back then that they wanted to keep it amateur. The 1-2, this is outside 2-2. They saw the possibilities when the Redlegs came to Colin. They played the Knickerbockers in a game where tons of fans came out to the field. With the 2-2 pitch swing, chops it over to first, and that'll end the inning. So Mets lead at 6-3. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. I'll finish that story when we return. Mets lead by 3. They grab the bats, heading to the bottom of the 6th.
We just all broke mentally this year. Things got so bleak. We started watching the WNBA. Was that what happened? Like, I don't.
Oh my God, I'm so hungover. I've never been this hungover. Are we dead?
I feel great. I ran 5K this morning.
Really?
No, I threw up in the shower.
In 2008, Pat McAfee kicked a 52-yard
field goal against Cincinnati to send the game into overtime. It was a night game in Morgantown and about 38 degrees outside.
The Battle of Gettysburg took place
on July 1st to July 3rd of 1863.
That is correct. This morning, your wife texted you to pick up what item on your way home?
Mayonnaise.
From the start of 1961, history was being made as John F. Kennedy, the country's youngest ever elected president, was sworn into office. From the space race to the building of the Berlin Wall to the dance craze known as the Twist, a new day was dawning, and baseball was also coming to an historic crossroads.
For 60 years, from 1901 through 1960, the two major leagues had each consisted of 8-team leagues, and they played a very predictable set number of games, 154.
But in 1961, that would change as the American League added two new teams. The Washington Senators were moving to Minnesota to become the Twins, only to be replaced by a new Senators franchise in D.C. There was also a new team in Los Angeles, the Angels. And as a result of the expansion, the AL would play 162 games instead of 154. The National League was still on a 154-game schedule and wouldn't expand until 1962. But the NL had already changed in a different way. The league had been tapping into a deeper pool of talent and had won 5 of the last 7 World Series titles, including 1960.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Lefty-lefty matchup, first pitch on the way. Beatty versus DeJesus. It's right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The new pitcher for the Tigers is the 0-1 pitch. Swing, chops it over to second. That'll be a 4-3 put out. Away. Emmanuel DeJesus, 6'3", 190, out of Valencia, Venezuela. That is a hotbed for talent. There are so many players that come out of specifically Valencia that we pull up all the time. I was going to finish my story, but I don't know what the heck I was talking about. Oh, the Reds. Lefty righty is Simeon. Takes the first pitch off the plate. It's 1-0. So they played the Knickerbockers over in New York. They're actually playing at Legion Fields in New Jersey. Much like the Jets and Giants do today, they found better fields in Jersey than they did in New York to be able to play this big game. There's a swing and a miss from Simeon, makes it 1-1. And there was such a big turnout for the crowd. It was the first time ever that extra innings were used. As the four-seamer misses, 2-1. The Reds had decided to go ahead and try extra innings, even though they could have walked away with a tie and would have kept their undefeated intact. 2-1 pitch, misses. Ball 3-1. Three-one count, outside wide. Ball 4, and he'll head on down to first, and the Mets have one on. One out. When that winning streak ended, the fandom died in Cincinnati. And they quit going out and supporting the team. A.J. Ewing takes the first pitch off the plate wide for a ball. It's 1-0. By the way, Ewing did stay in center field, so Tyrone Taylor's in left. The 1-0. Cutter misses. Ball 2-2. Two-0 count. 3-0. Four-seamer nowhere near the zone. The 3-0 right down the pipe, taken all the way. 3-1. So it was a 130-game winning streak, and that's why it was so big. And the fans were packing the stadium, but it really helped grow the game. And it led to, is a 3-1 pitch right there, 3-1. When they disbanded the team because fans quit coming out there, the brothers Wright, Harry and George, move east to Boston and start their own team, the Red Stockings. Is a 3-2, fouls it away, do it again. And that name was being used as paying homage to the Red Legs that they had ran in Cincinnati. So they go to Boston and start their own team in what is called the National Association, that eventually morphs into the National League 5 years later in 1876. But in 1871 is when you had the 3-2 pitch swing, drops it into center field, down for a base hit, going corner to corner, and the Mets have runners on the corners and one out. The Reds ended up coming back into the National League, but in between them stopping and playing baseball and the Braves beginning playing baseball, they were the Red Stockings, but they are the Braves. That's where you have the disconnect. It's a quick mound visit out there to talk to De Jesus. He's 14 pitches in. Runners at the corners, one out. That's why I always like to kid with Reds fans when they talk about that they're the oldest team. I'm like, yeah, but you're fair weather fans. If you weren't disappointed because your team lost one game after 130, you would own that title, but you don't. The Braves do. Yeah, it's pretty remarkable, Coco. It's the main reason why it became my favorite sport growing up, and I continue to consume as much as I can. As DeJesus flips it over to first. Try to learn something new about the game every day. That's why I'm always going on to these history sites. Show and bunt is the changeup down and in. It's 1-0. The game itself kind of gets in the way sometimes of me learning about the game because you have to call the game and whatnot. But that's why it's the greatest game, because of the history and because of the day in and day out. Is the 1-0 pitch chopped down the line. They're going to try a squeeze, and he's going to be safe. It's a safety squeeze. Simeon beats the play, and they'll have runners at first and second, still 1 out. You can understand why they did what they did on that play. But they really weren't playing. He had shown the bunt to play before. The first baseman was charging off the bag. He needed to be a lot closer to be able to make a play on that. Honest engine on that play. As the first pitch is down and away cutter, it's 1-0. You would have. It was a bad pitch choice knowing what was coming. He needed to have that higher in the zone so that if the ball is fair, it's going to come back to either DeJesus or a much higher pop that's going to delay the runner. But it was a great bunt. It's poorly executed defense from all ends of the Tigers. 7-3 your score. The 1-1. Turns and kicks. Swing, lifts it. High into left center field. Drifting over, making the running catches, Wenzel Perez. Fired into the infield, and there's 2 down. I'd love to know the origin of his name. Wenzel, his first name is spelt like pencil, but with a W instead of a P. I've never seen that name anywhere else. Another mound visit. This might be it for DeJesus. They might be bringing Hinch out. Yep, they're bringing him out. Well, it's not Hinch right now. It's the bench coach because Hinch got launched. And rightfully so. We'll be back in a flash. 4-run game here in New York. Welcome back. Right-hander comes to the mound. Hannafy. First pitch is a sinker at the knees. It's 0-1. The 0-1. I don't know why Richards bringing up the Civil War, but is the 0-1. Down and away. Did they call that a strike? No, they didn't. It's 1-1. I love the story that we I don't remember where it is, but it's one of these clips. Is the 1-1 pitch swing, lifts it into right field, deep but not deep enough. F9 your scorecard, and that'll end in the inning. But the one where they're talking about how the guys, he sounds like he's more upset that they lost their only baseball as opposed to the guys that died in the war that day.
You know, my bank account be looking like people's going to be getting text messages for Christmas. And that is if my phone is still on.
Can I make you some tea? Yeah, sure. All right, we have green tea, detox, and chamomile. What did you call it? Chamomile. It's chamomile. Wait. I texted everyone. No!
And this is a tip that I learned from my high schoolers today. And someone said, that's unk status. And I said, unk status? Like, what is that? The class was like, you know, like uncle. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, because, you know, like uncles are older. Okay, sure. I was like, well, what about me makes me an unk? And they said, the fact that you had to ask what unk is gives you unk status.
Hard to believe, isn't it? It is hard to believe.
There are no words needed for that picture of Mike Schmidt.
As great a moment the home run in Montreal was, this was as bad a feeling on the other end as I could possibly have.
But he was the guy that got us there. Without Schmitty, we don't get there. And, you know, at the time you try to say, hey, hang in there, man. Things are going to turn around.
Here is Unser now with 2 out and the tying run at third.
One of the biggest hits I ever got in my life. I didn't get it. Del Unser got it.
It's a base hit to right center, and we're tied at 5.
We end up tying the game that inning, and in extra innings, we ended up winning it.
Phillies winning.
So Del Unser got the biggest hit of my career.
I know I was some dead weight out there in that game today, Don. Some real dead weight, and that proves what kind of heart this team has.
It will be Philadelphia against Kansas City in the World Series starting Tuesday
night. Nolan McLean, last 19 batters he's faced, 4 hits, no runs. First 2 allowed 2 hits and a 3-run home run. First pitch on the way. As soon as I say that, he plunks Torkelson in on the just above the wall and on the belt, and it's a leadoff hit by pitch, reaching to start the 7th inning. Righty-lefty matchup. First pitch is upstairs, sinker. It's 0-1. Perez, 1 for 2 on the day. The 0-1 pitch swing, rolls it over to first. They'll take the easy out. G3 on your scorecard. Runner at first moves up to second. 1 away. Mets lead at 7-3. We're in the top of the 7th inning. So they'll gladly trade a base for an out at this point. Tigers will flip the order over after Rogers, who stands at the plate. First pitch is a cutter right there for a strike. It's 0-1. McGonigal is on deck. Keith is in the hole. The 0-1. Right there at the knees, 1-1. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. So 3 pitches and a strikeout, 2 down. McLean's 6th strikeout of the day. Kevin McGonigal 0 for 3 on the day, batting .295. When we saw him versus the Braves, he was hitting well above 300, so he's in a little bit of a slump. As the first pitch is fouled off, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Brings it. Upstairs, misses 1-1. 1-1 count. Accents don't bother me. It'd be the cold weather. 1-1. Curveball hits the side of the zone. 1-2. I can pretty much handle just about any accent. It's more of the cold weather that I would be avoiding. I've lived up north a few times, and I've had my fill. McLean steps off the mound for a second. He's at 92 pitches. You got to figure this is his last inning. The 1-2 count brings it right there. Strike 3, filthy sinker. If that's his last pitch of the day, 7th strikeout. What a way to exit. We'll be back in a flash. The Mets lead by 4 here in the bottom of the 7th. Time to get up and stretch. Welcome back. First pitch to Juan Soto, misses off the plate. It's 1-0. Mets 7. Soto flew out to left. In the 4th, he had a solo shot. All right, I'm sorry. He scored after a 2-run shot by Vientos. The 1-1. Turns and kicks, lifts it. And that does not look like that's coming back. High and deep. That's another one that just gets over the wall. The 3rd one today for the Mets, who just have just enough power to not call it warning track power today, and it's 8-3 New York. That is unbelievable. You rarely see that many home runs just get over the fence. Sitting dead red. I believe that's his, yes, 5th home run of the year. The Mets lead by 5. First pitch to Vientos is a sinker. Right there for a strike. It's 0-1. 8 runs, 8 hits, so a double snowman for the Mets, no errors. 3, 6, and 1 for the Tigers. The 0-1 bounces it foul. It's 0-2. You talk about a kick in the grapes if you're a Tigers fan. You're not feeling great about your team and you get swept by the Mets. Oof. Leading into this series, they were the only team in Major League Baseball that was on pace for 100 losses. And if you're really not feeling well if you're a Nationals fan right now, 15-1 was the final against the Reds. The 0-2. Down and away, 1-2. One, 2 count. Outside wide, 2-2. In 1918, on this date, Washington, D.C. lifts the ban on baseball on Sundays. The 2-2 pitch, swing, lifts it. High and deep. This ball's going back. This ball's on the track, making the catch at the wall. Couple more feet, and that would have been one that just got over. One away. They said that from anticipating declining crime rates, Washington, D.C. officials vote to end the prohibition on baseball on Sundays. And 5 days later would be the first game. 17,000 fans, the largest crowd in the stadium's history at the time. Watch a 1-0 victory over Cleveland. Pitch to Tyrone Taylor's right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1, swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Oh-2 count. Kicks and fires, swing, chopper back to the mound. Jumping on it, firing to first. It's going to be a 1-3 put out. Pitcher to first. Benasco records the second out, and there's 2 away. Is that going to be it for Benasco? All right, well, they're going to take a quick break. While they do that, you know, we never get a chance to play this one, and I forgot to hit it. We hit the 5th inning earlier. Scratch that. We don't have it. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
Okay, put a finger down if you my ex-boyfriend Steven in the Burger King parking lot.
John Lester will be remembered as a very intense, consistent pitcher. He was so consistent that in 241 starts for the Red Sox, he had a 3.64 ERA, and in 171 starts with the Cubs, he also had a 3.64 ERA. In 1995, a contest was held to name a future Arizona baseball team. The name Diamondbacks won, but there were some other choices. The Arizona Diamondbacks were almost the Rattlers, Scorpions, Phoenixes, or Coyotes.
I like old trucks. I like Nickelback. I like extra large t-shirts that say something funny on them. And I've realized that I am one beer belly and 2 ex-wives away from becoming my Uncle Earl.
Y'all, my dog size and snore is way too hard for somebody who does not contribute to this household.
We don't have set sides of the bed.
Yeah, we sort of lie down wherever.
What are you, farm animals? Couples have set sides of the bed. Walk me through this. You get ready for bed. You put your sweats on, whatever.
Actually, we sleep naked.
I'm sorry, what? No sides, no clothes, no rules. Basically, your bedroom is Thunderdome. Filthy, naked hippies.
Baseball's thought of as this game of geometry. The game of geometry. It's perfect. It's 90 feet, it's 60 feet, it's this, it's that. Everything's perfect, right angles, everything's all that. And then it has the strictest rules, and it has the strictest history, everything interpreted. And kids play it all over the place with 2 bases, 1 base, with a car parked in the middle of where they're playing.
First pitch to Brett Beatty. The strike outside the zone, it's 0-1. Righty-lefty matchup. 4-seam fastball from Vanasco. 0-2. So an 0-2 count, 8-3 your score. The 0-2 just misses. That 4-seamer looked like it hit the bottom of the zone. The 1-2 fouls it away. If you want to feel old, and why the hell not, right? This is the 30th anniversary of when Doc Gooden threw the no-hitter for the Yankees. The 1-2 chops it off his instep. Do it again. That does not seem like that could be 30 years ago. That was his first win in almost 2 years. The 1-2 pitch, swing, lifts into center field, drifting, making the catch. F8 your scorecard, and that'll end the inning. Not before the Mets put one more on the board. We go to the 8th in New York, 8-3 Mets.
106 miles from Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
It's happy hour.
When wins become losses
And losses become wins.
You guys going to happy hour? I'll come for a couple. Just a couple, though. Not like last time.
I need a drink.
When buying a beer, buying only one beer can cause a misalignment in your spine due to the uneven weight distribution. This can cause unnecessary back pain and potential spine issues. To prevent this, carry 2 beers, ensuring your body is balanced and proper health maintained.
Afternoon, everybody.
Put my pants on, one leg at a time.
Does Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Guess what? I got a fever, and the only prescription.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program of dance music to bring you a special bulletin from the Intercontinental Radio News.
You're in Braves country.
Everybody drink a beer. Salad.
They're making it laws where you can't drink when you want to.
Well, I'm not sure why that died, but by the time I got it fired back up, it'd be time to start the inning. So, hitting wrong button, setting off missiles everywhere. Eight to 3 your score, top of the 8th. You've got like 4 keyboards back here. I'm thinking something fell on that keyboard. I think I know what happened. I'm not 100% sure. I just don't want to mess with it. Y'all wouldn't believe the setup that we have back here. Three runs, 6 hits, 1 error for Detroit. 8 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Mets. Keith, Green, and Dingler are the batters to start off the 8th for the Tigers. First pitch on the way is a 4-seam fastball. Right down the pipe for a strike. It's 0-1. Myers on for the Mets. Tobias Myers, 27-year-old. The 0-1. Chops and foul, it's 0-2. 6'1", 223-pounder out of Winter Haven, Florida. Drafted by the Orioles back in 2016. He's with Milwaukee the last couple of years, if the name sounds familiar. The 0-2 swing and a miss splitter, and there's one away. One down, Riley Green, who's 2 for 2 on the day. He also has a walk to his name. He's batting .333 on the year at .923 OPS. First pitch on the way, swing, four-seamer. Smacks it foul, back out of play. It's 0-1. Will be coming your way tonight. Braves and Cubs, Game 3. Is the 0-1 in the dirt? 1-1. 1-1 count. Turns and kicks. Swing, lifts it. High into center field. Drifting backwards, making the catch after he takes a couple steps in front of the warning track, 2 down. I think Green thought he got a hold of that one. He looked dejected when he rounded first. Cleveland leads the Central by a game and a half over the White Sox, 4 over the Twins and Royals and Tigers coming into today. It was amazing. Someone tweeted out, I want to say it was Buster Olney yesterday, but this is before all the games were played yesterday, is the first pitch to Dingle. That ball is smoked. Going back on the track. Ding dong dingler. That pitch is dead. A solo shot, and it's an 8-4 ball game for the Detroit Tigers.
Let's go, Tigers! Let's go! 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 Let's go, Tigers! Let's go!
8-4 your score. First pitch swinging by Workman is foul, back out of play. It's 0-1. But Olney had tweeted out this before all the games started yesterday that had the season ended, or if the postseason were to begin yesterday, is the four-seam fastball down and in 1-1. The 6th seed in the American League would have been the Chicago White Sox. Can you imagine if they make the postseason? That would be remarkable after the just horrific seasons they've had recently. I don't think that it'll last. I think you've got too many talented teams in the American League that are going to rise above them. But what a great start for the White Sox. The 1-1 swing hits it hard on the ground over to second, 4-3, and that'll end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. In a 4-run game, Mets will grab the bats when we return.
Y'all, back when I was a kid, I couldn't stand watching anything with subtitles. Now I literally need them because I can't understand anything them people be saying.
Brother, first time hearing this joke, let him hear this joke, test out his mentality right here. So you had these two dudes, they was dating, but their relationship was kind of rocky. So one of the dudes wanted to spark, add some flames to the relationship, so he went and got this little game. Came home, the other one came from work. He said, listen, I got this game. We're going to play. It's supposed to help spark our relationship. He said, okay. He said, what I got to do? He said, you got to take off all your clothes, and I got to blindfold you, lay on your stomach. He said, okay. He reached in the new game, pulled out a feather. He said, you got to guess. When I touch your body, you got to guess what it is. He said, okay. He rubbed the feather on his back. I said, is that a feather? He said, damn, you got me. He said, now we got the switch. He took off all his clothes. He blindfolded, switch. So the other dude, he wasn't going to get nothing out the box. He wanted to be slick, so he ran outside when he got a water hose. He took it and rubbed it across his back. He said, damn. He said, there's a water hose? He said, damn. Hey, you got me. So they switched. He laid back down, and he tried to be slick now. He said, all right. He ran upstairs. He went to the bathroom, and they went and got the,
No.
Then they went and got the, oh, you played this game before?
This is 6 things you didn't know about Daryl Eugene Strawberry. Number 1, Strawberry and Howard Johnson are one of only 2 teammates to have ever gone 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases in the same season. Number 2, in 1988, he hit a 525-foot home run that struck the roof of Olympic Stadium in Montreal. Number 3, he had 2 3-home run games in his career. Both came against Chicago teams, and there were almost 11 years to the day between each of them. Number 4, he was the starting right fielder in 5 straight All-Star games, and he appeared in a total of 9 All-Star games, including 8 in a row. Number 5, his 252 home runs with the Mets is a record that still stands. Number 6, and let's not forget he was part of the 1992 Springfield Nuclear Power Plant softball team that went on to become the 1992 City Champ.
Welcome back. First pitch swinging by Marcus Semien. That ball's blasted high and deep into left field. It's going to go up against the foul pole, and it's a solo shot, and the Mets have taken a 9-4 lead. So that was short-lived by the Tigers, climbing back within 4 runs. It is now a 5-run game. First pitch is a curveball down and in to A.J. Ewing. It's 1-0. 1-0. Right there for a strike, 1-1. The 1-1 four-seam fastball. Upstairs just misses 2-1. What is Kevin trying to say? The 2-1 pitch, swing, lifts it. High into left center field, drifting over, making the catch is Riley Green, one away. What think doing Mets? I don't know what think. Can I get an interpreter, please? Carson Baines, the batter. Or excuse me, Sanger, the batter. Baines is on deck. First pitch is a strike upstairs. It's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup. Vanasco. This will be his 13th pitch of the day. Swing, lifts it. That was a hanger, but he just got underneath that. Perez will catch it in center, and there's 2 down. Two down, and the top of the order will flip over. Baines, the batter. Bichette is on deck. And oh, look what we're going to get. Guess who's warming up in the pen, so the game's not over yet. You're going to get a Craig Kimbrell sighting. Baines has the... Looks like one of the trainers for the Mets coming out talking to him. Not sure what. Eye drop? Oh, it's eye drops. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, and I know I didn't see it growing up. Guy needed eye drops. He would just tough it out until he got in the dugout. First pitch is a curveball right there. The 0-1 changeup misses outside. 1-1. One count. Kicks and fires. Swing, rolls it foul. 1-2. Yeah, Tally. Munetaka Murakami is the guy's name that plays for the White Sox. Is the 1-2, chops it off his instep. Will do it again. Signed a 2-year, $34 million deal. Everybody thought he was going to go and play for a contender. In fact, the Mets were in on him. And he wanted to go somewhere where he would be allowed to bat every day and not have a ton of pressure on him. And it's paid off. It's only a 2-year deal, so he'll be a free agent at the end in just a couple of seasons. And he's only 26 years old. The 1-2. Swing, fouls it away. We'll do it again. He's already got 15 home runs on the year. Now, his batting average has dropped down quite a bit, so looks like he's swinging for the fences. But an OPS of over 900. The 1-2. Upstairs. 2-2. Two count. Swing, just got a piece of it. Mets 9, Tigers 4, bottom of the 8th. Craig Kimbrell will be pitching for the Mets in the next inning. The 2-2, ball slapped into left field, down for a base hit. And it's a 2-out single for the Metropolitans. Bo Bichette, the batter. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch is a four-seamer. Down and away, it's 1-0. Nasco 24 pitches in. Right there at the knees, four-seamer, 1-1. One count. Swing, fouls it away, 1-2. Tonight you'll have Chris Sale on the mound for the Braves. He'll be going head-to-head with Ben Brown. Ben Brown's a decent young pitcher, but the Braves definitely have the advantage in that game. I was surprised last night. I'm sure it's moved, but I'm surprised at the fact that the line last night was only minus 165 with the Braves at home and Chris Sale on the bump. 1-2, four-seamer, misses, and it's 2-2. And they should realistically have, in a pinch, if they have the lead in a tight game, both Iglesias and Suarez should be ready to roll, along with Lee. The 2-2 misses inside, full count. In a perfect world, they'd like to not use them all, but they would be available. Full count. Swing, fouls it straight back. We'll do it again. Martin Perez might get a start in that Boston series. We'll play the clip for you tonight, but they were asking Weiss about why he came in just, what do you think, 12 pitches, I believe? Just the one inning of work. I think that was just keeping him on track for a start in the very near future. The payoff pitch. Down below the knees, ball 4. And Juan Soto will come to the plate again. You really don't want to have to go get the bullpen again in a game where you're trailing by 5 in the 8th with 2 outs. Vanasco, if he can't get Soto here, he may force their hand. Righty-lefty matchup. Pitch on the way inside. It's 1-0. There's a scenario when we play the Mets later this year, you could have Kimbrel and A.J. Minter facing us. The 1-0 swing, chopper over to second. Be a 4-3 putout, and that'll end the inning. And Craig Kimbrel is going to come on for the Mets. We'll see him when we return here on Braves Country Radio.
Something that's not a cult, but seems like a cult.
People that eat sushi. All the ways you could cook fish. You chose none of them. Nope, you eat it raw and wrapped in its own habitat. Then you dip it in something looks like green Play-Doh. Tastes like the center of the sun. Who hurt you?
Could NFL guys play in the NBA? Could NBA guys play in the NFL? And then
this conversation been following us
everywhere. Do you guys feel like baseball players would be the best?
Name me an NFL player who could come out here and hit 300 or hit 20 home runs. Tell me one who can hit a slider. I just faced this man named Waldron, and he threw a knuckleball. Brother, come on. And listen. Tell me how many Rangers swore at sinker, bro. I swear. They're not hitting that. They ain't hitting none of that. We'll say it like this. I could go be a quarterback. I can go throw that thing. And I'm going to go and listen. And he's going to go get it. I need a circuit. Take all football players, basketball, baseball, and do like 7-on-7 flag football, basketball game. Then they go around, and when they get to the baseball, put the machine on 95 and see how much of them going to hit a homer. None. I know baseball players who could dunk 360.
So baseball has the best all-around coordination.
I would say, yeah.
Hey, Mom, we're running a little bit late, so I don't know if we're going to have time to stop at Buc-ee's on the...
We stopping at Buc-ee's.
But, Mom, we might be...
We stopping at Buc-ee's.
Yes, ma'am.
This is the history of the bullpen cart. The first bullpen cart was a little red auto used by the Cleveland Indians in 1950. The White Sox would take it one step further the next year and become the first team to transport the pitcher from the bullpen all the way to the pitcher's mound. In 1959, the Milwaukee Braves used a locally produced Harley-Davidson topper with a sidecar as their bullpen cart. The Mets would follow suit in 1967, but add an oversized team hat to the top of it. In the early 1970s, the Yankees used a Datsun 1200 painted with pinstripes. The Mariners began using one in 1982 that looked like a tugboat and was called the MS Relief. The last Major League Baseball team to use a bullpen cart prior to its reintroduction in 2018 was the Milwaukee Brewers when they phased out their motorcycle in 1995. In the last 7 years, the Diamondbacks...
James dipping out for a nap, I guess, in between games.
Good night, Jimbo.
Righty-lefty matchup. Craig Kimbrel on the mound for the Mets. First pitch is a four-seam fastball. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. It's just never going to look right. But you know what? If he's going to be in a Mets uniform, he might as well have a freaking ponytail. Yeah, one pitch. Man bun. Swung on, fouled away. It's 0-2. You talk about someone who needs to clean it up. We joke about Riley. He has not been the same since he's grown the full beard and put the man bun on. The 0-2 swing, chops it foul. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the other, but I feel like Kimbrel is just not as intimidating. Somebody in his life told him it looked good, and the way he went. The 0-2 pitch misses high, 1-2. 1-2 count. I'm surprised that they let him wear. He wears like a silver chain around his neck. I'm surprised that they allow that. The 1-2 check swing down and in. Did he go around? He did not. 2-2. McKinstry, Torkelson, and Perez due up. 9-4 your score. 9 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Mets. 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Tigers. The 2-2. Sweeper, fouls it away. We'll do it again. We'll come your way in a few hours. Looks like it's going to be about 6:30 we're timing it up as. I'll change it just after this, but we've got that pretty long. The 2-2's fouled away. Two count. Just misses. 3-2. Full count pitch, swing hit hard on the ground, but right at third base. Beatty's got it, flips it to Vientos, 5-3, one away. Righty-righty matchup is Torkelson. Is it right there for a strike? It's on 1. Jason's telling me now it's going to line up to start at 6:35, so that's what we'll go with. We got I think it's an 11-minute interview with well, it's a combo. I think the front end is Mauricio Dubon, and then after that it's Walt Weiss. Pitch right there at the knees. Evens up the count, 1-1. 1-1 count from Kimbrel. Pitch outside wide, 2-1. He's coming in at about 94 miles an hour, so he's a tick up from where we saw him last year. 2-1 pitch. Right there, 2-2. Two count. Outside wide. Full count. Pitch on the way. Torkelson pops it up. Be an F4 in your scorecard. 2 down. What are you asking about Cookie Carrasco, Richard? I must have lost something in the chat. I don't know what you're asking. Pitch on the way is outside wide to Perez, 1-0. Tigers down to their last out. 1-0. Swing, chops it foul. Have y'all seen this new celebration for the outfield for the Giants? Who was it that tweeted it? CC Sabathia. He said, "I'm glad I'm retired." The three of them gyrate towards each other like they're, humping each other. There's no better word for it. It's really strange. And CC quote tweeted the celebration, just said, "Glad I'm retired." The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3, 4-seam fastball. Kimbrel will close the game out, and the Mets win it 9-4. 9 runs, 10 hits, no errors. 4 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. It's just really strange to see that kind of celebration. in Major League Baseball. I didn't know what to make of it when I first saw it. I was like, what the world am I looking at? New York Mets get the win. They'll improve to 18-25. The Tigers will fall to 19-25, getting swept by the Mets. They'll fall to 4.5 behind Cleveland. We'll see you tonight. Braves and the Cubs, game 3 of that series. I still don't know what Richard's talking about with Cookie Carrasco. If you're still listening, let me know what the Cookie Carrasco thing is. We'll see you next time, y'all. Tonight, 6:35, we're going on the air.
Goodbye, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. We're back tomorrow with another show. Well, unless we're fired, we'll talk to you then. Goodbye, sweetheart. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Guys and gals, it's time to go. We'll see you on the next show.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
It's closing time, y'all. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Have a great one. On your way out, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to tip your favorite bartender. We'll see you. I'm Mac McGee, signing off for Braves Country Radio.